Greetings and God bless. Something I've noticed the past maybe year or longer actually, um, since the lockdowns, is there's many cities. Like I was in Cedar Rapids, I'm in Denver, and even in New York. There's these buildings that are empty. I would say Norfolk, Virginia. There was a lot of like empty buildings, and I'm sure they have electricity, they have plumbing, and not only are there like empty buildings, but there's a lot of empty like lots, like land, and uh, so like what 25 million people are waiting at the border right now. Probably I don't know how many million have crossed the border in the past year or something like that. So, and what's interesting is like, even if you are, buying a house or wanting to rent anywhere, everything, there's very little available, really rentable. Uh, there's a lot of slums that aren't even available, but there's a lot of slums out there. And even to the public because it just gets granted the property manager circle a rental. Because I've lived, when I was living in Missoula, there was a less than 1% vacancy rate. And something I noticed about there is there would be whole entire blocks, charming neighborhoods, but nobody was living in any of these mansions, any of these beautiful houses. It was just like, and I'd arrive, when it was light and leave when it was dark, winter time, doing my laundry. And it would be spooky because I'm like, there's nobody, like I'm working in a cute little neighborhood, but nobody's here. And also, like, just because everybody has their second home, their third home, fourth home, fifth home, and people don't want to live in Missoula because it's really hard to take the airport or take the Amtrak and blah blah blah. So while a place is nice and there's no real good employment there, and the funny thing is about places where there's no good employment, the few significant employers are always hiring from like Portland or San Francisco. Like they don't even hire locally. So it's just this weird thing. And the funny thing is like cities will then hire somebody from Kansas to move to San Francisco. It's just like, I don't know what this logic is, but there is infrastructure and there is no excuse for so many people to be sleeping on the concrete on a sidewalk in any city because there are buildings, um, there is some place, there is like a, even so many buildings have this huge front area, um, where it's like there's a like a seating or trees, and it's supposed to be like where nobody's ever using it, nobody's ever taking their lunch, or very few. There's like one person, but the space is could contain like 30 people or 100 people. So anyway, I really think that if anybody cares in any of these cities where there's homelessness or where there's all these illegals that are just landing there, uh, like find there's an empty building. I'm sure there's somebody knows about an empty building that the city could, instead of look for the price that all this uh, like I don't know, like there's a way. I'm pretty sure because there is infrastructure. And I think the only reason why, and I think there's been infrastructure for decades for, let's say, homeless people, but for some reason, having bedraggled, mentally ill, drug addicted homeless people, somehow it serves cities or it serves those who are making money from cities. So I just wanted to put that out there. And sorry, there's a chiropractor that's just the next office over, and he does like this deep tissue kind of thing. So if you hear like agony, it's it's the chiropractors to clients. So anyways, thanks for watching. God bless.